Hello, I'm Sam from Jessup Says. The focus of my channel is to share and educate on how to buy less, buy better. It's not necessarily about buying less things, it's about buying something that fits its purpose perfectly and serves you for as long as possible. Finding a pair of jeans that fit is a real challenge for everyone. They're too slim, too wide, don't fit over your calves or your bum or your thighs, or they just don't fit in general, for whatever the reason might be. Then, if you find a pair that fit, they're the wrong color, have funny pocket designs, or they're cut into a style that doesn't suit your body. If you're tall and skinny or short and stocky, it doesn't really matter. Finding jeans to fit is a pain. And sifting through various technical terms for cuts and styles and fabrics can be quite a mission. At the end of the day, it is difficult to find something that fits the bill. And sometimes it's not even a question of quality, because it's the only option that you have. Well, let's get into it, because as a person who didn't wear jeans for about 15 years because I couldn't find a pair that I liked, it's quite lovely to have, over the last 2 years or so, recently rediscovered the style, and I'm enjoying it very much. Now, I want to disclose that I'm not a full-blown fade-searching denim head. I've been on Reddit, I've read a lot of reviews, and I've been a lurker on the subforums for the last few years. But ultimately, it's just not my scene. As always, I'll try and approach this as simply and as analytically as possible, focusing on things that make a difference to the quality, the wear of the jeans, and obviously the fit as much as I can. To me, there are two main things we need to explore. Firstly, the style or the cuts that are out there and who these styles are made for. Secondly, the fabrics and what to look for. I want to follow up this educational video with reviews of each of my pairs of denim in my collection, and ultimately I want to hopefully provide some perspective and a point of reference for anyone out there who is looking to explore denim, and I recommend you do so. I also wanted to look at the darling menswear brands Rubato, Bergenberg, and Informale, who have all recently released similar looking denim, and I wanted to do a comparison between all three and see who actually makes the best sort of menswear denim. To me, the best way to start looking at all the different styles and cuts was to head to what I consider the home of denim, okayamadenim.com. Excluding jorts, which I have a feeling are making a comeback for better or worse, there are 6 different styles, otherwise known as cuts or silhouettes, and these are skinny, slim tapered, relaxed tapered, slim straight, regular straight, and wide straight. Now, I've thought long and hard about what these terms describe and how to understand them best, and this is what I've come up with. The first word, being slim, relaxed, regular, or wide, refers to how tight or loose the denim is from the knees up. The second word, being tapered or straight, refers to the cut of the fabric below the knees, and of course, skinny is skinny. It seems simple now that I've figured it out, but I've never seen anyone spell it out quite so clearly, so hopefully that helped. Now let's get into each of these and discuss who they are designed for. A quick note that every brand has their own version of each style and each cut, but this is just a good place to start, and it's meant to be a broad strokes approach to the denim search. The only thing that this approach doesn't cover is the rise, which is basically how high or low they sit on your waist, but there doesn't seem to be a universal approach to this problem, so if they say that they're high rise, then they're likely high rise, and if they don't, then they're probably mid or sometimes low rise. Anyway, let's start with skinny. Skinny is a style that isn't as relevant today as it was when I was growing up. Skinny jeans don't suit many people unless they're particularly skinny themselves, or if you're still embracing those emo vibes. Skinny denim often also means that there's a compromise in quality with the addition of something like elastane or some form of stretchy material so that they can be pulled up your leg. And elastane is known to degrade over time. Slim tapered denim is pretty much a modern version of skinny jeans. It's not skin tight, but it's not really far from it. The thighs are fitted and so are the calves, and this style would be great if you're quite slim, possibly quite tall, and or prefer a slimmer silhouette rather than having any form of drape. It's not a pair that I'd ever personally try to pull on or pull off because I would likely get stuck. Relaxed tapered, on the other hand, is a great place for most men who want a tapered jean, but they also want something with a bit of room in the quads. It was actually a pair of Japan Blue JB 0606, which are technically a high tapered, meaning that they're slightly high rise, which I first thought to myself that I might be able to wear denim, and they gave me hope ultimately to start this search. So if you're looking for an entry into the denim world again, or for the first time, and you like moderately tapered silhouettes, then this is probably a good place to start. Straight Slim, from what I gather, is designed for skinny guys who want to wear a straight silhouette. It's something reminiscent of one of the Levi's 105 silhouettes that we've seen over time. The style can either look very 90s, sort of James Dean-esque, or like a workwear for a slimmer guy, depending on the denim and the chosen aesthetic that you're going for. If you are a skinny guy who doesn't want something that's super close fitting, then this is a fantastic place to hopefully find a pair that suit and fit you. Regular straight is what the Levi's 501 is supposedly based on. The basic thought here is that the measurement across the thigh and the measurement across the hem at the bottom of your, where your foot comes out, are about the same or exactly the same, meaning that they are completely straight the length of the leg. Another James Dean photo comes to mind. This is a great style for most men. Depending on the details, the style can look very sartorial or it can look very workwear. It's a style that I've got into quite recently, and I have to say that for me, it's the perfect balance of comfort and drape for my personal preferences. And to be fair, I've had a bunch of other guys who agree with me, so that's kind of cool. If you're okay with a bit of drape or something that's not very tapered, then I would personally skip relaxed tapered and start here. And I think this is where most guys will have success. Wide straight is the final style, and to me it's a fairly niche style. Okayama Denim, for example, only have one pair of them listed. It's for super denim heads, or the person who is super into workwear and therefore probably knows a lot more about denim than I do. So if you're one of those people who is watching, hello, welcome. It's not something that I'm familiar with or know too much about, so I'll leave that to the more workwear style channels out there. Although if you do have super huge quads or super huge calves, or you're particularly fond of the hardcore workwear style, then this is definitely what you want to look more into. Onto fabrics, but before we get into the technical terms used in denim to describe the different attributes that you want to look out for, I thought I'd give a quick history on denim, which is taken from the Okayama Denim website. I'll do my best on pronunciation, but I don't speak either French or Italian yet, hopefully one day. The word denim originates from the term serge de nines. Serge is a type of cotton twill textile that is woven using a double stitch over an under pattern. This creates a rough, rugged textile, which is similar to denim. It was originally used for workwear and military uniforms in Europe. The city of Nimes in France is historically known for its textile production, including serge. Explaining the origination of the word denim, de Nimes, or from Nimes. The etymology of another word we commonly use to describe denim comes from the Italian town Genoa, which is where the first denim trousers were produced. The French word for Genoa is jeans, or jeans. Now, the world of denim is a deep, dark, and somewhat mysterious world, so as ever I'll try to keep things simple. There are four main ways to classify denim, two which are good to understand and two which are more part of that deep dark world. Starting with the important two. The fabric type, which could be either raw, washed, unwashed. It could be sanforized or unsanforized, salvage or non-salvage. And then there's things like the weight, which is simplified into light, mid, and heavyweight. And this is when people are talking about, the denim is 12 ounces or 18 ounces. Let's get into a little bit more detail. Starting off with the two areas that I think are interesting to know exist, but they're unlikely to come into your purchasing decision if you're not a big denim head. These are how the fabric is dyed and the style of the fabric. How the fabric is dyed is mostly important to how the material is going to fade. Denim heads have a very specific understanding of what kinds of fades they want to expect and get out of each pair of jeans based on what the fabric is and how it's dyed. I guess I'll quickly mention that fades is where the denim changes color over time. A deep indigo color to, let's say, a light washed out color. Different types of dyeing methods give different fades, being it faster or slower, or more or less contrasted. The fabric style is about how these actual fibers are woven together to create more or less texture on the surface of the jeans and in the weave of the fabric. These different waves of weaving are called nep or slow, depending on the outcome that you have. And again, I'm not really going to go into too much more detail than that. So jumping back to the fabric type, let's discuss what they mean and what to look for. Raw, washed, and unwashed is typically talking about what state the denim is in. Most fashion brands will be selling washed jeans because they're softer. They don't need to be broken in, yes, like a boot, and because the size you buy is much more likely to be the size you end up with. Washing denim, be it in hot or cold water, can change the properties of denim and shrink it. So if you buy raw denim, I would suggest doing some reading first about what you can expect in that process. As for the different washes, one wash typically means that the denim has a nice dark indigo color. More than one wash, or bleached or stone washed, means that the color of the denim has been artificially faded to achieve a specific look. Like for example, my pair from Informale, they came in one wash, whereas my pair from Bergenbird are washed, stone washed presumably, or bleached to a light blue color, both of which we will cover in the coming weeks. Picking between them will depend on the type of denim that you're after, but if you want a pair that's comfortable, go with the one wash. If you want something that's a lighter blue, look for more than one wash. And if you're interested in the quote unquote real denim, then I would look into raw. If you're speaking of raw, you may also be referring to if the denim is sanforized or not. Sanforization is the process of pre-shrinking the fabric to limit the residual or further shrinkage of the fabric to less than 1% is what they aim for. The sanforization process involves the stretching of the fabric before it's washed to help prevent shrinkage. Fabric that doesn't go through sanforization is considered raw and has been known to shrink up to around 10% on the initial wash and will continue to shrink and loosen up until approximately the third wash. This is something that is very important to be aware of when you're looking online, and in the world of denim, unsanforized denim is typically referred to as raw denim, just to make things confusing. The final element of the fabric type is the selvage. The selvage, for the most part, is the fastest way to identify if the denim is good quality or not. Basically, roll up the leg of the jean and look at the edge. Hopefully there's a video here now comparing salvage to non-salvage to show you what to look for. But as long as the salvage is real, there are fake ones out there, it means that someone who designed that pair of denim chose a more expensive fabric and they want to show you that they've done so. It's more expensive because there are two ways to weave denim, with or without a shuttle. Weaving with the shuttle is the old school way. The shuttle is essential. It weaves the weft through the warp. So basically it weaves the horizontal thread through the vertical thread. As the weft is continuously passed back and forth, the edges of the fabric are self-finished, which is called selvage. The tightly woven and durable edge can be included in the garment without any additional processing. It happens naturally as the product is made. This process is time consuming, and when compared to cheaper ways of manufacturing denim, it just takes longer. Hence selvage being a great indicator of the quality you're looking at. The final thing you want to know about denim is the fabric weight, typically defined by its ounce, but today we're going to simplify that as well. From what I can figure out, light denim is denim that is 12 ounces and below, mid is 12 ounces to 17 ounces, and 17 ounces plus is considered heavy. The weight of the denim affects different things. Firstly, if you're looking into a skinny or slim denim, then it is more likely to be in a lightweight fabric. Not only is this done because a thick fabric would be almost impossible to get on, but it is also done because a super heavyweight fabric may also look quite imbalanced on a slim person. By the same token, it is unlikely that you'll see a really wide fit in a super lightweight fabric. They just don't go well together. So it's important to be aware of the context of heavy fabrics and combine with the style and the cut that you are choosing to understand what the overall silhouette's going to look like. As for what you should look for, I'd suggest anywhere between 12 and 16 ounces for most people, so the mid-weight. For women, 10 ounces might be okay, but I think that most men would wear through the crotch area pretty quickly. This sort of mid-weight fabric provides the best balance of a durable fabric without it being too thick to wear and needing an excessive wear-in or break-in period. Phew, well, I initially set out to write my first denim review, and then realized that there were so many terms and things that I needed to discuss, which would have made my video incredibly long. This video is therefore probably incredibly long, but I hope that people find it a helpful way to approach purchasing denim, even just understanding denim a little bit. Hopefully you're able to use this information to figure out what kind of denim would suit you, and then hopefully find a pair of denim that suit you. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to share all of my pairs of denim, my thoughts and feedbacks on them in relation to my body and proportions. And at the end of it, I want to do a bit of a roundup to discuss what we've found throughout that process. Thanks very much for watching. Links are in the description as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.